Hello, how are you?
Good evening.
Here. Barbara, thank you. You are here because I don't think I can make it for the whole meeting.
You know, I had a family neighborhood meeting at 4:30 at your constituent's home. Recording in progress.
You're almost there.
Good evening, folks. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
That's a yes.
You can. Thank you very much, Council Majority Whip Castillo. I appreciate you responding. You too, Majority Leader. Okay, I am Councilwoman Joanne Ryan. We are going to call the Committee on Finance regular meeting to order. It is Tuesday, June 8th, and it is 5:38. Madam Clerk, could you kindly read the roll?
Chairwoman Ryan,
Present.
Councilman Narducci. Councilman
Yeah.
Narducci,
Yeah,
Councilwoman Castillo,
Present.
Councilwoman Anthony is absent. Councilman
Present.
Taylor,
Here.
we have 4 present, 1 absent. We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Okay, we are on staff this evening by the wonderful team of Angela Harris and Donna Paligian. Thank you very much, clerks, for keeping us organized, and we really appreciate your support. Who else do we have here? Any other council people on? Nope. Okay, folks. First up, we have the Law Department for a discussion on budget. Do we have Jeff Dana? Is Jeff with us?
Yes, I am here, Madam Chairwoman.
Wonderful. Okay. Why don't we swear you in, and anyone else in your department that you would like to be to provide testimony this evening?
Okay, Deputy Solicitor Adrian Southgate should be attending, but I don't see her here yet. Meanwhile, I'm happy to be sworn in.
Okay, how about Chief Mancini and Director Silveria, Finance Director Silveria? Are you going to be sworn in?
Yes, Madam Chair, if I may, Ms. Southgate was on the call, but she was not identified correctly at the time.
Is she still on the call?
I'm not sure.
Let's get people sworn in. So raise your right hand. Madam Clerk, please lead the call.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear under penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I
You
do.
do?
Please state
Lord
your
Steve
name and
Mancini,
address.
Chief Financial Officer, City of Providence.
Sarah Silveria, Finance Director. Krista Lindberg, Deputy Finance Director.
Jeffrey Dana, City Solicitor.
Okay,
Madam Chair, if I
Director
may interrupt, I'm sorry, Ms. Southgate is back on the line. And would you be so kind to have her sworn in? My apologies.
Madam Clerk, please. Thank
Ms.
you.
Southgate, can you unmute yourself and can you return to the line?
Yes, I actually did execute the oath while we were all doing so.
Okay, well, we were unaware of that, so let's do it again. For,
Sure,
yourself.
I swear to tell the truth.
Under penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name and title for the record, please.
Adrian Southgate, Deputy City Solicitor.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, before we begin, I would like to ask the Finance Committee, I'd like to entertain a motion to enter a package prepared by the Finance Department summarizing the Law Department's budget, revenues, expenditures, salaries, services, supplies, capital, a summary of the organizational chart provided, I assume, by Jeff Dana, as well as a summary on an annual operating report of the department, as well as a 3-box financial report. I would like to entertain a motion to call this package Exhibit 17. May I have that
Second
motion?
motion.
Motion made by Councilwoman
Second motion.
Castillo, seconded by
Second the
Seconded
motion, Madam
by
Chair. Second the
Councilman
motion.
Narducci. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Aye.
So we have Exhibit 17 before us. Director Silverio, would you like to walk us through presentation of this budget?
Absolutely. Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Tonight, before you, we have the Law Department. I'm going to read a brief narrative going over the department's budget and then hand it over to the department to answer questions. Revenue in this department is budgeted at $61,200, a decrease of $15,000 from the 21 budget of $76,200. Moving on to expenses, salaries are budgeted at $2,400,456, an increase of $204,561 over the 21 budget. The increase is due to savings from workshare that are no longer available, and a 3% increase for all 1033 and non-union employees. Additionally, the department has requested a grade increase for their special assistant to the city solicitor claims from an A13 to an A14, and then a few changes in some of the professional structure within the allowed positions available, and there are no additional employees requested in this department. Benefits are budgeted at $1,592,207, an increase of $232,332. Services, total budgeted services for fiscal 22 are $2,226,145. This represents a decrease of $211,763 from the 21 budget. And this decrease is primarily due to the reductions in fees not classified. That is aligned with some of the salary changes that the department has requested. Additionally, contractual services and training has been reduced in accordance with historic spend. Supplies in fiscal 22 are budgeted at $54,364. This is an increase of $1,500 over the 21 budget, and the increase is due to a request for office furniture and workspace improvement. There's no capital budget in this department, and I'll pause here for any questions that you may have of finance or the department.
Thank you very much, Director. I'm back. Thank you very much. Why don't we hear from the solicitor, Jeff Dana?
So I think everyone in this meeting has worked with members of the law department. I'll just say that we have a very strong and cohesive team of attorneys and support staff in the law department who are extremely dedicated public servants who appreciate the privilege of being legal counsel to the city, and proud of our team and the work that we do.
Well, thank you very much. Can you explain the grade increase? You've got a couple. There's a position that's going from a grade A13 to 14. I can't find that. What is the title of that position, if you would be so kind?
Yeah, that is the claims administrator who hasn't had a rate increase for quite some time. So that's
on your, I'm sorry, Solicitor Dana, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Is that on your org chart? I can't find it.
Um,
My miss,
well, no, I think the org chart only includes the lawyers, and the claims administrator is not a lawyer. The claims administrator is the equivalent of a paralegal.
could you be so kind to provide an org chart that has the entire department, all of the positions presented?
Yes, of course.
In a more, yeah, that would be just really helpful, because it kind of threw me. I kept trying to find, the position that you were referencing. Okay, so you're that position, you're going from a grade A13 to 14. What step is the A13 at right now? You said that position's been
Step-
in there for a while, so I'm assuming it's at a top step?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. So you're saying, for the record, you may want to check, is that person at the top of the A13?
I believe so, yes. That's my understanding.
Director Silverio, could you just check that while we're conversing here? I think Director Silverio is frozen.
I will check, yes. I'm
Correct.
not sure if I'm, but I
Okay.
can hear everyone.
I believe she has
Okay.
been at step 5 for the last 4 budget cycles, subject to check.
Okay, solicitor, we're going to wait for the director's testimony on that topic. Just wanted to clear up that. And then the other one, you're asking for step 1, for an A22 to an A23 step increases, correct?
Yes.
Or grade increase. But when we look at the steps on that A22, they're at step 1. So we're wondering why you're you're asking for a grade increase when you're at a step 1.
Yeah, so that's consistent with the approach we've been taking in the department for the last few years, because we need to create room for growth within the department. We have been actively working to promote folks and reduce attrition, which we have successfully done. In great part because of the working together with both the administration and the city council to create opportunities for growth within the department. And that has allowed us to retain more experienced attorneys and allowed us to have a lesser reliance on outside counsel. You'll notice if you look historically at the law department budgets, we have been able to reduce outside counsel expenditures relative to what they were several years ago. And we give a lot of credit to the fact that we have been able to retain talented attorneys over the last few years. As they've grown within the department, they're able to take on both greater volume of work and develop expertise in substantive areas, which reduces our need to go to outside counsel for those areas.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any outstanding commitments that haven't hit the budget yet that may take you over your estimated expenditures?
No, I do not anticipate going over our budget on any of those items.
Okay. All right. Auditor, do you have, committee members, any questions? Oh, Councilman Narducci, I see your hand up.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, I do actually got a question. Solicitor Dana, you had stated that those certain positions are not in the budget. They're just, only the attorneys are listed here in front of us. Then where are these other positions listed in the budget? They must have to be in the budget somewhere if we're paying these people, correct?
No, Senior Deputy, they're all in the budget. I think what the chairwoman was referring to is the org chart. So the org chart is not the budget. That's just a chart that each year we've submitted with, as an addendum, not part of the budget, completely separate document that just lists what the different, it's always listed what the different attorneys' responsibilities are. And I believe what the chairwoman was asking was that we add to the org chart the non-attorney members of our department, which we will do. We have never previously done that, but that is something that we will do start with this fiscal year and continue to do so.
Right, because I'm looking at the position supplement part of the budget, personnel supplement. And unless I'm missing it, I don't see that position listed in here that we had just talked about. The one going from an 813 to an 814.
Councilman, I believe it's listed as Special Assistant to the Solicitor dash Claims. If
That's
you would-
correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, Adrian. I got that. Thank you for the
Got it.
explanation. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Councilman. And Solicitor Dana, that you're exactly correct. It's just that I'd like to see the entire department, not just the attorneys presented, although we recognize the attorneys. The presentation is really good, Solicitor. We do get to see your fabulous team. And I would be remiss if I didn't recognize Ken Cheverini is with us this evening. He always represents your department so well on the Finance Committee, and we appreciate his support along the way. I don't have any other questions. Do you, Madam Auditor? Whose hand is raised? No, I think he asked his question.
I just have one.
Sorry.
A couple of comments. For fiscal year 21, if you can take a look at your salaries, I know you get some offset from the school department. Larry, Sarah, are we sure we're going to be getting that money from the school department?
We have in the past, so I'm not aware that we wouldn't. There's still attorneys that are working on school matters.
Okay, all right.
I agree with Director Severa.
Okay, with that offset, I still have you about 40,000 over budget. I don't know how that could happen, but I don't know if I'm missing something. If someone can just double check on that.
Salaries are over budget, is that? what
Yes.
you- Salaries are over budget.
I don't think that should happen, but, and also on.
Hold on just one second. Does anyone want to offer an explanation for that?
If I may ask, so we haven't received those offsets yet from the school department. We make those entries at year end. So I'm not sure if you're taking that into consideration when you're doing your projections.
I did back that in.
Director, if you could just get back to our auditor on that, just so that we can tie that up. An outstanding question that we have.
And do we have a legal accrual in the payments of claims and damages? Because that is way over the $800,000 mark.
So I can answer that if the solicitor doesn't mind. At year end, we'll look at that account. Some of those expenses that are booked there right now were actually recorded in the prior fiscal year. So that claims account every year during our audit, we're required to do an analysis of outstanding claims and adjust that account accordingly. So there's about $2.7 million in that account that was actually charged to prior year. So that will be one of our year-end adjusting entries.
Okay, all right, thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you very much, Madam Auditor. Committee members, any other questions for our illustrious Solicitor Dana? Thank you. Solicitor, I have a question for you, and it's not particularly about your budget. It's just a pertinent matter relative to the budget as a whole. As you're aware, we're getting close to the end of our process of interviewing departments, going through each department's budget, and typically at this time, we're able to advertise a public hearing as we're required to do so. As you know, we have not been able to advertise that public hearing, and I was hoping that you could explain what the delay is and give us some guidance if possible so that we can move forward in a timely fashion and fulfill our requirements under the charter.
Yes. So the state Division of Municipal Finance is the body that approves the posting of the tax levy for a public hearing. And as of this date, they have not yet done so. And my understanding is that their this decision to not yet do so is connected to the city and state having not yet reached agreement on an appropriate payment schedule for school department maintenance of effort payments.
Do you have any idea of when we're running out of time here. Do you have a plan? Or what are your next steps on this topic?
The city and state,
The council is diligently working to fulfill its obligations. So this, it's concerning for us that we're bumping into this delay.
yes, it is concerning. And we're hopeful that they will approve the posting of the tax levy for the public hearing shortly. We are working diligently to convince them that they should do so and not hold it up based on this disagreement regarding what an appropriate payment schedule for the maintenance of effort payments is.
Thank you, Solicitor. We expect that that's on the top of your to-do list, and we're anxiously awaiting you bringing that to a conclusion for us so that we can continue. You have a question, Madam Auditor?
Again, not so much a question than a comment. At the beginning of this budget season, I sat with the collector and the finance department, and we had a schedule to get the tax bills out by June 24th. And we were on schedule, Madam Chair, with
very good point.
So, we have met that. We could have had the tax bills out on May 24th based on the schedule that we have been on. And I understand that it's not beyond our control, but I just wanted to put that on the record. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And obviously, there's issues relative to funds being available. We need to get those invoices out. But anyway, so that's uppermost in our mind, and we're going to stay connected with you on a day-to-day basis if we can, Solicitor. But I'm all set. I don't have any questions. I want to thank you for your support, your service to the City of Providence. Your team is a great legal team. I know that you've had a couple of your legal eagles poached. They're off to bigger and better opportunities, largely because of the development that was provided to them under your leadership. So thank you for that. I think oftentimes managers forget that their primary duty is to train their staff and develop their staff, and you're a fine example of making sure that our solicitors get great opportunity under your care and tutelage. So thank you very much. We're all set.
Thank you very much.
With you, Solicitor. All right, next item. Where's my... Okay, why don't we, if I could kindly entertain a motion from the committee to waive the reading of items 1 through 4 and to continue. Those are the budget articles. May I have that motion?
Motion made, Madam Chair.
Yes, Council. Yes,
Motion.
Councilman.
Motion made.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Narducci, seconded by Councilman Taylor. All in favor, aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. So items 1 through 4 is continued. Councilman Narducci, did you want to say something, or?
No, I just wanted to make the motion. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. I was distracted a little bit. I'd like to let the Madam Clerk, could you kindly reflect that Councilman Correa is joined us this evening. Okay, item 5 is, why don't we read that into the record, please?
An ordinance approving the capital improvement plan for fiscal year 2021 to 2025.
Okay, so this matter is essentially not relevant any longer. Apparently, the language in item 5 was swapped out, and it's identical to the matter before us this evening under item 6. So first and foremost, I would like to have the Director of Finance affirm that that is indeed the case, that the language is identical. Can you affirm that from 5 to 6? Okay, perfect. With that, I think that it would be appropriate to continue that matter indefinitely at this time because, again, item 6 has indeed substituted in its entirety and affirmed on the record by our wonderful Director of Finance. So may I have a motion, please, to continue item 5 indefinitely?
Madam Chair, motion made to continue item number 5 indefinitely.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Narducci, seconded by Councilman Taylor. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion passes. Okay. All right. Item 6, Madam Clerk, could you kindly read item 6 into the record?
An ordinance approving the capital improvement plan for the fiscal year 2022 to 2020.
Okay. Who is here to speak on this matter? We have called, who have we called? We've called Sabrina Solares-Hand, the Chief Operating Officer and Senior Advisor to the Mayor, from the Mayor's Office. And we have Demo Roberts, Acting Director, Department of Public Policy. Are you both with us this evening?
I'm here, Madam Chair. I don't believe Sabrina will be here, but I'm prepared to speak on this matter.
Sabrina is not here?
She is not.
Clerk, Madam Clerk, can you confirm that we indeed called her? She's on the, okay. Okay. Well, the CIP is an important document, and I appreciate, Demo, that you are here to carry the ball on this. You're an acting director, correct?
Yes, I am.
How long have you been acting?
I've been acting a little less than a month now.
A little less than a month. Okay, you got to keep your eye on that acting because there is a requirement for how long you can serve in an acting position. But we'll help you keep your eye on that as well. I'd like to say that I want to continue this, and I'm going to ask my committee to entertain that motion. Quite frankly, we've had 6 directors of public property for this term. We've had Mr. Seepy, Mr. Bucco, Mr. Borg, Mr. Mahoney, Mr. Almonte, and now we have our acting director, Demo. There's a lot going on here. The CIP are precious dollars. The city has borrowed, you know, with all due respect to Mr. Roberts, the department is under the oversight of Sabrina Solares-Hand. I am going to ask that we continue this matter and allow Ms. Solares-Hand to attend this meeting. So, committee members, may I have a motion to continue item 6?
Madam Chair, if I may, quick. I just, I couldn't agree with you more. On continuing this matter, I think we need to get the answers we need. This is a very serious matter that's in front of us, and I don't think we can keep putting it off. So with that being said, I will make the motion to continue item number 6, Madam Chair.
Motion to continue. Thank you, Councilman. Motion to continue item 6. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Taylor. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries. Thank you very much, Councilman Narducci, for affirming our position on that. And Demo, no disrespect to you, but I don't think you can carry the ball totally on this on your own. I don't think it's fair to you. So, next item, item 7. Madam Clerk, could you kindly read the item into the record?
An ordinance amending Chapter 17, Article 2 of the Code of Ordinances entitled Compensation and Other Benefits.
Thank you. Okay, who do we have to speak on this matter from the administration? Who is it? Shondell? Shondell? Is that?
Shondell. And
I don't know.
We have
We're promoting
Shondell.
someone.
We have Shondell Bernie speaks here to speak on the behalf of the administration and she's in the waiting room.
Thank you, Director Silveria. Appreciate the assist. Good thing you know what's going on. Okay, so we have, please identify yourselves. We're gonna we're gonna swear you in. Whoever is testifying, we don't have any pictures. I can't see you. We have a Shondell.
Yes, I'm here. Shondell is here.
Oh, there you are.
Hi, I'm driving, I'm sorry, and a community member, Shane Lee, is also in the waiting room.
I'm here.
Okay, did we promote?
Yep, they're both promoted.
Okay, all right. So, Shondell, help me out. You work for the administration? Is that what I heard
Yes,
you say?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Madam Clerk, please swear in Shondell, please.
Shondell, can you raise your hand? Do you swear under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
State your name for the record and your position.
Shondell Bernie speaks, Senior Advisor for Mayor Jorge Alorza.
Wonderful. Okay, Matt Schunemate is not with us. He's the one who asked for this to be on our docket. He's not here.
Correct.
He is no longer.
Was he with us at the beginning?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
Yes.
He said he.
Okay, he said he's not speaking on the matter. Whoever is presenting this from the administration, please tell us what you hope to accomplish this evening with this. Please explain the ordinance change.
Okay. Councilwoman Ryan and members of the Finance Committee, I'm thankful to be before you to discuss this particular ordinance amendment that would create a new city holiday here in the city, highlighting Juneteenth. As I stated, I currently serve as the senior advisor to Mayor Alorza and have also the privilege of managing the African American Ambassador Group. This group began meeting in May of 2020 to discuss the disproportionate number of African Americans that were impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. The African American Ambassador Group has since evolved to meet weekly and discuss and advance a social justice agenda for the city of Providence. I'm also here as a member of the community and a parent and a Providence native. Tonight, I just want to thank you for your time and also elevate the voice of our own African American Ambassador member, Mr. Shane Lee, to provide testimony on the importance of this holiday. Community members have shared their request for the city to declare Juneteenth as a city holiday for over a year and are thrilled with the ordinance that is before you on tonight. And I thank you for your time to allow Mr. Shane Lee to speak and allow myself to be here before you this evening.
So I'm hearing that you want Mr. Shane Lee to speak, but could you answer some questions for the committee before we enter that testimony? Okay, yes. So I was under the impression that there was going to be a substitution for this document to correct some language in the body of this ordinance. Where is that? Did that ever happen?
I'm not aware of any substitution. I'm sorry.
So the reference to VJ Day obviously is incorrect. Victory over Japan Day, it should be stated as Victory Day. And that was something that was highlighted when this first appeared. The administration was supposed to work with the policy director to get that change made. That hasn't happened? You don't have an amendment tonight?
No.
Would you like to make a friendly amendment to change VJ Day on the floor here right now to Victory Day? Just so that we can be accurate and not offend any populations? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
yes, Councilwoman.
May I indulge, may I ask my council committee if you would kindly make a motion to change the reference to VJ Day in the body of this section 17-57, paragraph A, from VJ Day to Victory Day? Can we make that change at least? May I have that motion?
Madam Chair, if I may, quick, I'm kind of confused on what we're discussing here.
Well, bear with me, please, because we've got a technical change here in the language of something that was put before us. We're going to talk about it, but I'm looking for a motion to change the reference to VJ Day in the listing of holidays for the city of Providence from VJ Day to Victory Day, which is what it is actually referred to. Would the committee indulge me and kindly make that motion? May I have a motion from the committee to make that change? There's no motion to make this change. Committee members, I'm asking you one more time for a motion to make this change. Okay, the motion is denied. Okay, Shondell, you've been asked, what is it that you're trying to accomplish by this ordinance by one of my committee members? So I'd like you to explain what it is you're trying to accomplish with this ordinance. I see that it's an existing ordinance for the city of Providence, and you're adding Juneteenth Day as a holiday for the city of Providence employees. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Have you discussed this change? Is there a fiscal note? What is the financial impact of providing an additional holiday pay day to basically the employees of the city of Providence, which would be police fire holiday, it would be communications holiday, it would be local 1033 holiday? I see that there's a fiscal note. Would you like me to add this to the ordinance? Director Severia?
Yes.
Would you like to go through that? Okay. So, committee members, could you please indulge me? I'm once again asking for a motion to add the fiscal note that's been provided by the administration to the ordinance. May I have that motion? And we're going to call it, what is it going to be called? Exhibit 18? May I have that motion, please?
Motion to accept physical note as Exhibit 18.
Okay, so it's Exhibit 18, motion made by Councilman Narducci. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Taylor. All in favor, aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. So we have a fiscal note. Madam Director of Finance, can you explain the cost of the action to add Juneteenth Day as a holiday, as another holiday for the city of Providence? What is the cost?
Yes, Madam Chair, absolutely. So Juneteenth would be the request to add this to the city calendar as a city holiday. This year it falls on a Saturday, so the day that we would recognize that would be on the Friday before June 18th. The finance office did a fiscal analysis of what that might cost the city, and you are correct in that the largest cost of that would be for the premium pay for police and fire. The total cost for adding this holiday is about $303,000. 287,000 of that is related to police and fire holiday pay. The communications cost would be about $2,080. The local 1033 cost for overtime would be $9,500, and then payroll taxes of $5,047. For the total fiscal impact of $303,627.
Okay, this is a lot of money. A lot of money to the city of Providence. If we do some quick math, Director, we basically come up with, in this 2022 budget, 1 day pay equals about 463. So I'm really questioning that cost. And I see Jim Lombardi has his hand up. Jim, have you reviewed this fiscal note?
I have.
Do you have any thoughts on the amount that is presented as the cost?
Sure. The amount that's presented is the cost to the city, not the cost of personnel that we're employing in the city. So I think it's much higher. It's closer to your number, Madam Chair, if not higher. And the reason why I say that is because there's a cost of people not coming in. That would be like saying, similar to, well, if no one came in next year, there would be no cost to the city. It's just not a good argument. There is a cost to the city that I believe is higher.
Thank you very much. Has any thought been given to swapping out a floating holiday so that this type of a change that's being requested by the administration is revenue neutral to our budget? Has that been looked at? Has there been any negotiations? Because it's unusual that this would appear the way it is. Does that happen, Director Silveria?
Not to my knowledge. It's my understanding that that would take a bit more work to get unions to give up something like that in place of this. So this is just a request to add the Juneteenth holiday to the city's calendar of holidays.
Okay, so it's an outright request to inflate our budget, not that this isn't a noble cause. And I have to say that I'm a little taken aback by the whole thing. We're up at the State House right now, begging for the General Assembly to give us the authority to go out and borrow with a POB, pension obligation bond, because, our fiscal condition is such, and we're putting forth this request that basically it's an ordinance change that is going to cost the city of Providence. What's presented in this fiscal note is completely understated, according to my math, as affirmed by the General Treasurer. So it is going to cost between the low side is your 300 number, but the high side is $500,000 to our budget, and that troubles me. So I see some hands raised. Councilman Narducci, you had your hand up first. Did you already speak on this, or?
Yeah, please, Madam Chair. I just, I will not support this particular change. At 300 or 400 and some odd thousand, or we don't even know what it's going to cost because we're getting all different numbers to the city. When we're asking departments to cut back, when we're not filling certain certain positions in Department of Public Works and so far and so on, where we need work is to support something. And again, when we're looking, how are we going to look to the taxpayers of the city of Providence saying, okay, we're adding another holiday, we're giving the city employees another day off at the cost of whatever, again, let's use the $300 some odd $1,000, so they can have another day off. I don't see that flying too good with my constituents moving forward. I just don't, honestly, I just don't even feel like this is being dropped on our lap tonight. I didn't hear of this at all till tonight. And I'm just moving forward. I'm not comfortable supporting this and adding another holiday. As you said, Madam Chair, and so what if it's going to be that much more work? If it's that, it is an important issue, and I do agree with that. But maybe you guys, and I don't mean you, Shondell, I mean Sarah and Larry and whoever else needs to reach out to the union and negotiate it with the union. I think the answer that we had just got, that would take that much more work to negotiate with the union to swap out a floating holiday or something, is definitely not what I wanted to hear. But that's my stand on this moving forward, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments, and they're poignant because, you know, when something like this is presented, there's usually a discussion. Concessions are usually discussed, and I would feel much more comfortable if this proposal was revenue neutral. Councilman Taylor, do you have any thoughts, or do you have questions?
Yes, I'd just like to bring up, I believe I'm going to echo the senior majority's comment that I believe it should be negotiated with the unions. And the reason I bring that up, as a fireman in September 11th, 2001, the fire department, because we know so many firemen and police were killed during the attacks of 9/11. And we tried to bring up at the time that I remember, we wanted a holiday for the fire department. And we were told at the time that we had to negotiate that into our contract. So I'm not saying that the Juneteenth is any more than 9/11, but I'm just saying that I believe that we should be negotiating whether we want to replace it with, say, a VJ Day, because everybody's replacing it with that, or whatever. I'm not saying, I don't know what holiday we could use, because then we're going against the men and women who fought for this country also. So I think it should be a bargaining during with the unions. And like I said, I give that example of 20 years ago this September, the fire department tried to get the 9/11 and we could not. We had to negotiate, and we didn't do it at that time, and I don't know why, but that was the deal. So thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you for your comments, committee members. I think we're in agreement that this seems to be, it feels like it's rushed. The cost that's presented to us doesn't seem right to us. And I really do believe that more work needs to be done to negotiate and find some concessions to work to make this new revenue neutral to the budget. This is a lot of money, and my internet is unstable. Is that us, Madam Clerk? Okay. Anyway, I'm thinking we're not going to move this tonight, so I think what we should do is probably make a motion. May I entertain a motion to continue, giving the administration time to look at this and try to work on it a little bit more to make it feasible? Does that sound right?
Motion made, Madam
May I have that motion? Motion made by Councilman Naducci, seconded by Councilman Taylor. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any further discussion? There was a gentleman that wanted to speak. Is he still here? Shane Lee. Would you like to make any comments, Mr. Lee, before we vote? Okay. Motion made, motion seconded. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion passes.
Hold on.
The matter is continued.
Chairwoman,
Excuse me?
Shane Lee was muted. Just to give him,
Yes.
to let
Sorry
him
about
speak.
that.
Okay, why don't we have a motion to reconsider item 7? Motion made by Councilman Taylor, seconded by Councilman Narducci. All in favor? Aye. We're back
Aye.
on 7. Mr. Lee.
Hello, good evening,
Mr.
Chair.
Lee.
Yes, are you able to hear me?
Good evening.
Yes.
We can hear you, sir.
Sounds good. Well, good evening, Chairwoman Ryan and members of the Finance Committee. I'm also pleased to be before you. I did fully hear the discussion and understand, all the points made, and I'm still hopeful that we'll still be able to work something out in order to make this happen for the significance of the holiday, whatever that may mean. So, I'll be, working, and staying in communication with Shondell, but I did just want to mention just a few brief points on the importance of the holiday, the reason why we're seeking it. Many of you know the history of Juneteenth already, just how significant it is. Juneteenth is short for June 19th, which marks the day when our federal troops arrived in Galveston, Texas in 1865 to take control of the state and ensure that enslaved peoples would be free. I think it's very significant in the time that we're facing right now in our nation and in our country, because of the division that we actually see in the city and on the state level and on the national level. And I think that one of the goals in trying to make this a city holiday is to commemorate, not only the memory of the evils of slavery, but also how as a nation we was able to get over it, how as a nation we was able to conquer that evil. So I believe it's a holiday not just for the African-American citizens, but for all citizens in our city, because of the efforts that were involved in actually making Juneteenth a possibility on the Union side and on the victory of our nation to, celebrate the very foundation, of our forefathers. So I believe that, this, the financial investment cannot always be justified by a monetary ROI, but sometimes it's the collective good, will, and morale of a people who feel seen and celebrated, and the ensuing productivity and work as part of our municipal collective. This would create a platform by which we can begin the healing work of unity so desperately needed in these times, both locally and nationally. And, on behalf of the African American Ambassadors Group, I look forward to just figuring out some way that this can still happen, that this can still get on the books so that we can begin to make that affirmation and do that work under that umbrella of that affirmation of that city holiday, what it represented before, but more importantly, what it could represent now for the unity in the city that we see in this racial tension that exists currently under these current times.
Mr. Lee, thank you so much. Those were wonderful remarks, and I'm so glad you had an opportunity to make them this evening. But I think that you heard that we have a little bit of a quandary with a fiscal note that's not matching up to what we believe is the cost. I want to see how we can figure out how we can get this over the end line. I'm wondering, Mr. Lombardi, are you with us and able to offer any thoughts about how this might be negotiated with the administration? Are you on,
Sure,
Mr. Lombardi?
Yeah. Yes, I am. So, Madam
Why
Chairwoman.
don't you give it a go?
Sure. Madam Chairwoman, I will reach out to the administration tomorrow morning, senior level administration, and work on this issue and see what we can do to move this forward. We'll see if we can get agreement on both sides. I already have reached out to them. I've already texted to see if we can figure something out here.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so committee members. So we took up item 7 again. So we need to make another motion to continue. May I have that motion to continue the item allowing Treasurer Lombardi to speak with the administration to try to figure out how we can pull this together and make it happen. Motion made by Councilman Narducci. Thank you, Councilman Narducci. Seconded by Councilman Taylor. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you again, Mr. Lee, for your comments. Again, right on, you are very moving and very true. So we're going to do some work on this and try to get it over the end line, okay? And thank you, Treasurer Lombardi, for your efforts on this as well. Okay.
And thank you, Shondell Speaks also.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Thank you, Committee.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Thank you, Council Committee.
Thank you. Thank you, Shondell. Thank you, Councilman Taylor, for jumping in there. Okay, item 8 is the master lease. Madam Chair, could you just kindly read that into the record?
Discussion relative to the master lease. The following have been invited. Demo Roberts, Acting Director, Sabrina Solaris, PM, Chief Operating Officer, and Senior Advisor.
Okay, who do we have here? I see Demo, you're out there again. Do we have Sabrina Solaris hand, who was invited to talk on this matter? No? Okay. Do we have the information? We have a presentation on the master lease. It appears to be an update on the master lease. Once again, this is an important topic. I think we need to entertain a motion to reference the summary that is presented to committee as Exhibit 19, identifying the components of the master lease. May I have that motion?
Madam Chair, as a member, I have not received that.
You don't have it?
I also don't have that master. I was looking for it, but I don't see it.
Okay. What is it? Confluence. It's posted on Confluence, where they post all the budget documents. Do you want to take a moment to look at it? First of all, let's ask Demo. Hold on just 1 second, Councilman. Demo, are you prepared to speak to this master lease tonight? Do you have all the information to update the council members on my committee?
Yeah, to my knowledge, I do.
You do, okay. Committee members, do you feel comfortable reviewing it now, or would you like more time to do so?
Madam Chair, me personally, I'd like more time to do so. I've asked in the past that when we do these things that I get hard copies, please. I cannot pull this stuff up on a phone and sit there and read it.
I agree with you, understandable. Okay, I think we're gonna motion to continue item 8.
Motion made.
May I have that? Motion made by Councilman Narducci, seconded by Councilman Taylor. All in favor, aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Is there any further business before this honorable body? Hearing none, may I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, Madam Chair.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Narducci, seconded by Councilman Taylor. All in favor, aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. We are adjourned. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.